prosecution, especially violations by people in the government, um, human rights violations. But there's another one. Just would like to add before adding some more. And this is a suggestion actually that came from the ground. Around 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was in Cebu, and I had a long discussion with an NBI official who's a ranking official there in the NBI. And this is one idea that he really told me that I hope, well, he was hoping I could push for, if and when we get elected in the Senate. Do you know that the NBI director has no fixed term at the present, which means that if the NBI director is appointed by the president last week, but if that NBI director actually makes a decision on a crime that the NBI is investigating right now, but the decision of the NBI director is contrary to the position of the president could actually remove him tomorrow. So which means what is happening in the country today is that pag may crime na in-investigate yung NBI, high-profile crime involving a high-profile person, a mighty person that is close to the president, at hindi gusto ng president yung results ng investigation, pwede niyang palitan yung NBI director. So ano sinasabi ng NBI official na ito na nakausap ko? Sabi niya, Alex, there's only one way to professionalize the NBI. And that is give the NBI director a fixed term. Para hindi mabago yung decision ng NBI director. At para hindi pwedeng pakialaman yung resulta or yung findings ng crime investigation ng NBI. So give the NBI director a fixed term. 3 years, fixed term. So that would already solve to a certain extent the problem of pinapakilaman yung investigations doon sa NBI. And this goes into the heart of justice. Because can you imagine the powerful person na in-investigate dahil ibigan yung presidente, suddenly i-focus nila yung findings doon sa NBI. Kawawa naman yung walang connection sa president. So ibig sabihin, we can actually professionalize the NBI and its findings by just giving a fixed term to the NBI director. So that's one thing again that we can look at. And this is a suggestion that is coming on the ground by just talking to the people. So, thank you.
Very Lacson, if you were in the place of Siegfried Fortuna and you were approached to defend Andal and Batuan Jr., what would you have done?
I would have refused. I've always been like that. I choose my clients. I don't. I know that accused of crimes have the rights to a day in court, but I also believe that I want to use my talents and my skills to defend those people who I really believe at the first glance are not guilty or telling the truth and doing the right thing. So I know there are other lawyers who might take the case, but I don't think I would be one of them. Thank you.
Just to follow up, if you reach the Senate, win, and then you have to sit in judgment as a senator judge, for example, in an impeachment case, would that put you in a dilemma in terms of prejudging an issue prior to the actual presentation of facts? As a hypothetical situation, if you're being a lawyer and you're being a senator judge in, say, for example, an impeachment trial.
Hindi naman, kasi even before you take on a case, you actually have already an impression of that case. And that impression of that case is, to a certain extent, is your guide whether you want to take on the case or not. But the moment you sit as a judge in an impeachment trial in the Senate, say against an incumbent president, then you will really have to exercise the role of an impartial judge. And that takes a lot of discipline to and including purifying on your part. That when you sit there already as a judge, then you have to observe the discipline. Uh, so the requirements are different. Uh, Accepting a case to become a counsel, a defense counsel, and sitting as a judge. Sitting as a judge. So I guess I don't think I would have difficulty in addressing the issue. Thank you.
Um, can you tell us more about your book?
Uh, Actually, if you notice, the you have the ano, no, you have the flyer. My slogan is no longer actually, it's no longer bagong Pinoy, bagong pag-asa. We changed that already. This is an old tarpaulin. Binago na namin to. Ang nilagay na namin dyan is bagong istorya. So, ang kinuha naming parang campaign slogan, campaign theme is bagong istorya. And why bagong istorya? In fact, people have become curious about that. Bakit bagong istorya? Because actually we want to bring out the new story of the Filipino and the new story of our people. The story of the Filipino who has faith on the Filipino. Yung naniniwala sa Filipino, naniniwala sa kaya ng Filipino, na yung tingin niya sa bawat Filipino ay kapatid, Muslim ka man, Kristiyano ka man, na naniniwala na kaya natin gawing dakilang Pilipino sa mata ng mundo at yun. So that's why bagong istorya siya. Why book? Ito po yung book. The message of this book is just really very simple. That we are the builders of our own greatness. That we write our own story as a people. And therefore, if you want our country to become great, if you want the Philippines to become respectable, if you want the Philippines to become a world-class citizen in the eyes of the world, then we have to do something about it. So, the name, the dignity, and the greatness of the Filipino lies in our hands as a people. So, ibig sabihin, itong 12 little things every Filipino can do to help our country, these are small acts of patriotism, small acts of heroism every Filipino can do to help our country. So yun, essentially, no? Ano siya eh, I really believe na kahit mahirap na Pilipino, may magagawa siya para sa bansa natin. Mayaman ka man, nasa ibang bansa ka man, may magagawa ka pa rin. That's why, in the past 4 years, I've been also invited to speak in several communities abroad, the Filipinos, because they too, they want to do something to help our country. So, the essence is really that, no? Small acts